Hey everybody, Chris Kelly here from Fast Sale Florida. Thanks for watching. I'm going to teach you a little bit something that was known as the turn cycle. But before I do that, I want you to make sure that you're sharing, following, liking these videos. So turn cycle, you'll hear people talking about turn cycles. What is turn cycle? I suppose this applies to any business, not just real estate. Turn cycle is how fast you can get from the moment that you put dollars into a transaction, so dollars in, and how long in time it takes to get dollars out. And that's really important because, if I was to say to you, look, you can put 10 grand into something and then 10 years later you get 20 grand out, that probably wouldn't be a good investment. But if I say to you, you can put $10,000 in and an hour later you can get $20,000 out, you're probably thinking that's a good idea. So it's the exact same in business. A friend of mine, I've been involved in real estate for a long time, but he always wanted to go into more of the food industry because he always liked the idea of buying raw materials, bread and sandwich meat and things like that in the morning, and then by the afternoon everybody had so he'd sold all of his goods and his till was full of money. And that's really it's a huge point in real estate. And that's why I don't do a lot of heavy rehabs. Because for me, if you look at wholesale, if you're a wholesaler, you've got to look at what point you put your advertising money in here and how fast you can get it out. And typically wholesale, let's just say you lock up a contract on day one, maybe you go, 7 days to find a buyer, maybe you're closing in another 7 days. So maybe your turn cycle in wholesale's 14 days. And that's awesome because you spent $1,000, you got in a fee of 5, and then 14 days later you can put that money straight back into the front end of the machine and go again and then turn 5 into 20, let's say. So that's great. That's why wholesaling works. What I like personally is either light rehabs or wholesale. Because typically on a light rehab or a wholesale, we're buying the property on day one. A wholesale, we're probably getting the property back on the market within a week or 2 weeks. A light rehab would probably be, say, 4 weeks. But let's just go with a month. And then we've got to find a buyer. In today's market, that's pretty quick, so another couple of weeks. And then we've got to get to the closing table, which can take, it can take 6 weeks to get to the closing table with conventional or FHA. But for us, as an average timeline, as an average turn cycle in our light rehabs and wholesale, we're looking at about 3 to 4 months. And I like that because that means we can do, 3 or 4 deals per year with each down payment, each chunk of money, okay? Now, heavy rehab, one of the reasons we don't do them anymore is exactly the same. You've got to buy the property and then the actual rehab part of it can just go on and on and on and on and on. As you find more problems, as contractors let you down, as the plumber was supposed to show up on Tuesday, but he didn't, so then that knocked back the drywall guy, and then when the plumber comes round, the drywall guy's too busy to come back. I've seen these heavy rehabs the construction times go way off the chart. You get into permit problems, or look at the COVID situation. We're doing a heavy rehab in Pinellas County. Needed a window permit, just couldn't get the window permit. So there's all sorts of things that can happen in the heavy rehab that can really extend that turn cycle. So even if you're rehabbing in 3 or 4 months and then it's on the market for another couple of months, and I would honestly, you want to really be budgeting for heavy rehab at least 6 months as a heavy rehab, in my experience, but it can go to 9 months. So if you're heavy rehabbing, you're going to be able to do less deals per year than the light rehabber and the wholesaler. And the light rehabber and the wholesaler, in theory, is going to do less deals per year than the wholesaler. So that's a little bit about the turn cycle. Turn cycle is how fast you can get your money in to getting your money out, and then you can go again. So hope that's been of interest. Hope that's been of value. If so, feel free to comment, share, like, reach out to me for questions. If you've got any questions about this, I'm happy to help. So my name is Chris Kelly from Fast Sale Florida. Thanks for watching.